What's up, everybody's? In this video, I'm just going to quickly go over how I would UV cylinders. Again, this isn't the best way, or this is just my preferred way of UVing cylinders. So I have a bunch of these pipes here, and let's start to isolate these things. So I'm just going to isolate, let's say I want to just UV this cylinder. What I like to always do is I like to have textured borders turned on. So I'm going to have that turned on. And then this way you can kind of see where the cuts, the thicker lines, is where the cuts are being made right now. And you can tell, so right now you have like a line, a cut here, another couple cuts here, which is not ideal because now you have a bunch of different UV shells that it's just not clean, right? So what I would do is, so there's a couple ways you can do this. Again, this is just my favorite way. I'm just going to select these faces here. Okay. And then I'm just going to go to, again, I'm in the workspace, the UV editing workspace, and I'm just going to go to create, and I'm just going to go camera based on your camera. Okay. So this is now going to shoot straight as if, it's from the camera, and you're going to see 0 cuts. Now you don't want 0 cuts because what that's going to do is it's just the entire geometry like this. You don't want that. What you want to do is, for me, I always like to try and keep the cuts in areas, in spots that you're not going to see. So this is a little go-kart that I'm working on, and you're not going to see this very bottom spot very often. Like any renders that I'm going to be doing is going to be mostly from up here, right? So I've selected, so hold on, let me go back to double clicking there, Control 1 to isolate the selection, and I'm just going to select that edge one more time, and then I'm just going to cut it, right? So now I'm going to go, for me, I like to use the wheel, so hold shift, hold right click, go to cut. So I've cut that, and then I can go to UVs, and I have a hotkey to go to 2 shell, but I'm just going to do that to 2 UV shells, and then I'm just going to go unfold. Okay, so now I have this unfold, and again, it's not perfect. I'm just gonna rotate it there, unfold, strain UVs, and then that way we just have this nice UV that's kind of straight. And again, this isn't me tackling like UVs, the proper UV scaling and stuff. This is just me doing just quickly how do I do a cylinder. And then for these ones, again, these already have, like, these UVs already look nice, but just for the sake of this example, just gonna go to UV shell. Actually, I already have my texel density kind of set here, texture size 2048, and then each unit to be 16. So I'm just going to use that on all these. So I'm just going to set it, and then I'm going to select these caps. And okay, you know what? Let's just do an example. Let's say that this wasn't UV'd yet, right? I would do the same thing. I would just go camera based, right? And so here you go. We have like these cylinders, and then we're just going to go to UV shell. We're going to unfold. Same thing with this, to UV shell, unfold. And then I'm going to select 2 UV shells, 2 UV shells. And then I'm just going to go, and I'm going to go to transform, and I'm just going to set it so that it's all going to have the same. Each square should look the exact same in terms of scaling. And there you have it. So now we have a quick cylinder UVs with the cut at the bottom. And then to finish this off, to make sure the bakes are going to be good, you want to go to, I'm going to go to poly modeling. We're going to select all the edges. We're just going to go shift, soften, harden edges. We're going to go to the options. We're going to make sure texture borders We're going to apply, and then what you're going to see now is that the hard edge is going to be where the border is going to be, which is going to be extremely useful and needed if you're going to be baking normal maps. So yeah, hopefully that's useful on how to quickly UV cylinders in Maya.